instead of deciding this through a knife round.
Yeah, double smoke play by C9 with 4 flashbangs, so definitely some options. Probably not going to be anything quick right here. Looks like they're setting up in more of a standard default, which is a 3-1-1, 3B tunnels, 1 outside longs, just holding down middle. They don't hear anything long, so he gets out for free. And this is so much information gained for Cloud9, just that player being a blue bin.
You can see too, Stewie moving down for the most part. Cloud9 just looking to regroup here in a moment. TyLoo, though, playing it back really heavy on the B bomb site and also keeping an additional player. At the moment, all you have to defend the A site is going to be somebody wrapped around over here at the corner position while trying to watch over with long and cat pressure at the same time with literally no additional support anywhere else in the map. Even towards mid there, too. They may not be able to get the good spot as to when they do push in, but in a moment, since Cloud9 are already funneled out towards long, somebody is going to get challenged. All these smokes, though, suggest a cat hit, and that's beautifully deployed. He's got no clue it's hitting him, and he's just been flashbanged, so somebody completely dumbfounded in terms of what just happened to him, and that's going to block out the site in its entirety. Stewie's even waiting here by the mid door, and there you go, the clothesline. A second one from Stewie, too. He'll get boxed in here, looking for more. Finally taken down by DD, with the damage already being done. It's just 2 men up and running here now for TyLoo.
Yeah, and I don't know why somebody was looking cat when they had 2 players in middle. Actually, watching that couldn't have been cat, as now it's such a difficult round to win. And they all peek together towards catwalk. Nothing we could really do better, man.
Automatic catching one of the last guys left alive here. It's just on Fancy, and nothing is going to swing in from the backside. There you go. It's Cloud9 that will pick up control of the pistol on their T side here with a very strong start. Looking good. And not only do they get that great control and completely just mind game somebody, but then you have Stewie waiting back in the mid doors too, just knocking out so many of them, preventing any hope of retake if there was any left already after they get such a clean take.
Whenever you jump through those mid doors, you always want to jump as a CT, especially when you have teammates behind you, and that will generally take that option away. You're usually not going to headshot that guy being close like that. But somebody looking towards cat there, when they do brick smoke and spawn smokes, maybe he hasn't seen that before. But most players in NA and in EU, maybe it's just something they haven't seen before. They know it's going to be a long take.
And we can see too, Cloud9 will get ready again to try and poke a little bit here through those mid doors. Specifically, Stewie leading the charge. Just him trying to investigate a little bit here. Not really going for the full commitment, but he's trying to hope he can catch someone from TyLoo peeking out. Won't be the case, though. TyLoo are actually playing 2 men back over here on cat, and Stewie will challenge this in a second, too. Spots the first one, but struggling to get that damage in, so it's going to be Captain Mo picking up the first kill of this round there, finding 1 frag, and Fancy, and he prepared for play to come out the doorway there, too. DD does try to aggress in mid. That doesn't work out, and Fancy also gets knocked out, so this original loss of Stewie does not really end up being that big of a deal. The attacker gets himself the AK, but his automatic waits for these guys to leap back down. And there's the pickup from him. He's got the second one. Attacker is able to trade, but now it's just him and somebody left alone in the 2v3, and Cloud9's even going to aggress into the tunnels to find them out. There's nothing, picking up the kill onto somebody. An attacker with this rifle, he's going to opt to fall back and save this, or even just toss it away in that case.
Yeah, smartly tossing that away as well, because just a little scout in MAC-10, so they lost the guns that they didn't want to lose. Losing 2 AKs there, not a total loss for TyLoo. Not that bad of a round, right? You get 2 kills, keep an AK, take an AK away from them possibly. It's pretty good for them.
Indeed. So unfortunately, the timer will still work out, so Shroud is able to retrieve this.
Shroud does find that.
Picks it up anyway, but if Cloud9 obviously had been a little bit less adventurous and trying to move out here towards mid, where potentially if Attacker wanted to try and find some more kills, could have been waiting. Could have prevented him from picking that up, but not the case. And we can see here too, Stewie goes down first, but as mentioned previously, it doesn't end up mattering as they hit all their entries on the B site without losing too many of their guys, and they're able to chase them right back into the tunnels.
Yeah, and TyLoo guys played just, the guy at mid, he actually had an advantage there on automatic, probably a kill he should have gotten, but the guy at B just challenging way too much. You don't want to peek too heavy there. Had he been like maybe on top of the B box, and then that mid player gets that kill, gets that AK, that B player gets 1 kill, I actually think they're very favored to win that round. Instead, though, they played it a little bit suspect there.
You can see again, Attacker finding that 1 kill there with the saved AK, but that's about all the impact that has been made here by TyLoo. It's going to be another really clean sweep round here from the guys on Cloud9, and they'll pretty much get that 3-0 start that they desire here. Captain Mo hunting for something, hoping he can catch 1 or 2 guys. Maybe you're getting a bit aggressive, but Cloud9 moving as a hunting squad right now, just all of them keeping together to try and find this last player for TyLoo.
Yeah, just looking for any type of exit, any type of kill that he can get, economic damage. But Captain Mo, their opper, blue. lurking around, but Cloud9 doesn't want to give it to him, so they go back towards T spawn. And do you think that Mo is for, what is it, Movember?
No, I don't think so.
No? Probably not.
He's had that name for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Mo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Mo is like a Chinese pirate or something like that.
Maybe just a Mo fan, like Mo TV fan.
So Cloud9 up 3-0. We'll get into their first gun round here. TyLoo with their investment too. Captain Mo decides to actually risk it on going for the glass cannon up by as well. They are just going to pick up the smoke and flashbang behind that without anything else. And beyond this, of course, utility is very limited. We can already see the TyLoo tossed out a few of their smokes, of which they are actually able to pick up here. Beyond this, they've only got really 3 or 4 more, and then a couple flashbangs to try and hold back the actual hit from C9.
No, and I like their setup a lot against any type of passive play by C9. Like, they have a guy on Cat who can get a kill. They got a nice mid pressure. Fortunately, he does get blind, has to fall back, but it's a good 2-1-2 setup. They have opportunities to get kills on Cat. They didn't waste a lot of resources really taking long control, although they are down to 2 or 4 flashbangs and a smoke. But I like that initial setup by them. The problem is, if you go to that initial setup regularly, it really gets punished by any type of fast play, which we will most likely see from C9 here very, very soon.
We can see Cloud9 now starting to push themselves over there towards the upper tunnels for that execute here, since time is getting a little bit lower as they prepare for it. Again, Fancy and DD are going to be the main defenders of this one. You've got Attacker trying to cut out anybody that pushes in towards mid too, but actually a lot of that attention is drawn towards mid, so Shroud walks right in. DD tries to hide behind the invincible barrel there, but he only gets 1 kill from it. Automatic immediately takes him down, and that's pretty much going to kill it too. Nobody even flushed out through mid. Attacker's been sitting here hoping he can catch 1 or 2 of these guys, but nothing has happened. I don't even think there's going to be an attempt at a retake. I think they're just going to hand this one over.
Yeah, and that was very, very undisciplined there by Fancy. If you saw, as soon as the mid to B smoke came, he just started looking middle for some reason, but that guy on the boost will tell you if he's out. They had a perfect setup to stop that play, just didn't execute it whatsoever. 1 smoke, 1 flash at middle that I believe Stewie was faking for mid B. Caught them, you know, off guard, gets killed on the side, immediately trade killed off Shroud, and you know, you're never going to retake that site, so, in a 4v2.
Oh, Captain Mo picking up at least one of these guys here too, as Cloud9 do try to hunt some of them down, but most of C9's efforts in this are going to be unsuccessful. What has been successful, though, is the actual round pickup. It's 4-0 for C9, winning the first gun round. I doubt, however, that there is really going to be any money left over to justify a reinvestment across the board from TyLoo. Maybe they'll drop over a couple upgraded pistols or something, but that's about it that we'll see. It'll just be this rifle and op in terms of kind of big firepower that TyLoo will carry into this round.
Yeah, and now that he's seen how they take cat control, they throw a flash. We'll see if he adapts, goes on there again, and maybe dodges the flash and then peeks. Very good option to get a kill there. Skidoodle's walking into B, misses another shot.
Hoping for, oof, gets one of them up close, but it's actually Fancy finding the kill. Now Nothing gets himself into a pretty of a battle here, but still nicely done. Picking up both those kills. More reinforcements rolling in pretty quickly. DD completely blind. Doesn't even know if Nothing decided to push in or not, but still decides to push forward and take up that position. Nothing's able to get the op though, and I believe he threw the other rifle back, so nobody from TyLoo is going to be able to push in and retrieve that. You still have both Captain Mo and Attacker up and running though, so those 2 rifles are in check for these CTs, but the other problem is that they've left most of their defenses off of the bomb site now, expecting another B hit beyond the op, which could be very easily smoked off with the utility that Cloud9 have. They're not going to be able to do much to actually stop these guys from getting up onto the bomb site. But they go out into the open, and that's where that op is going to find impact. It got the bomb, too. That's the big key thing. And now it's going to force them to use not 1, but 2 smokes. Nothing, however, having some better luck. He's able to pick up an op shot from over the top near T-spawn, finds a kill onto Attacker, and once again brings things back into good control here for TyLoo as it's left down onto somebody and Captain Mo to clutch this. And, well, somebody's just going to go right for that push through bricks. Doesn't last very long. Shroud is going to shut him down, and it's just Captain Mo now on the 1v3.
I think that was a very good play by him to bypass that molly and peek like that. Unfortunately, you know, Shroud was covering him really, really well. Gets an easy kill there, and Jordan with that 3K just takes control of that round. Captain Mo able to save his op, it looks like. Most likely, at least. So he'll have that for the upcoming round. We should see a 5-0 start for Cloud9. But TyLoo, I mean, you know, the 1 gun round we've seen so far, and even that round, they definitely had a chance, right? If they would have gotten that kill on Nothing, could have changed the round definitely. Captain Mo was positioned very well, but
It's a big play there for Shroud to push back in the missed stop shot as well, just a little bit to the left from Captain Mo, and there you go, the op goes down. They're going to reinvest anyway, but the big thing is now Captain Mo gets no armor behind his buy. Just going to have the op itself with like a single smoke.
Yeah, and it looks like Cloud9's going to go out long here. Stewie going fast cat, and then there's a lurker.
Cross 2, attempting to take the shot, Skadoodle does, but no connection, unfortunately. Both of them managed to get into the site, and there's a lot more challenge coming on to this A long hit too. For the most part, TyLoo have been passively holding it. Somebody now waiting for this one, tries to push up to the big blue dumpster, expecting a hit, but just waits for it. And unfortunately, Shroud will catch him there, knocking him down. That opens up the long avenue. Attacker being hit by this flashbang too. Thankfully for him, there's no actual follow-up from C9, but him proceeding forward to that, it's going to be Shroud again, just sitting back, waiting for these players to peek into the open. And at the moment, he's just grabbing them left and right. Not even really having to do much to pick up these frags against TyLoo.
Yeah, I mean, it was very odd how they were holding long there. I don't think that was very effective. They smoke and they wait for the smoke to plume. And they just like flashed over and peeked, but it was only one guy peeking. By then, Shroud's definitely going to be a blue bin. So you need 2 people swinging on that. And they just have one guy there, even though they have players, you know, that can support and peek with them and trade or, you know, kill them outright. They don't do that, so that was, I wouldn't recommend taking long like that as a CT.
Well, again, we can see Captain Mo is going to get quite a few of them in the open, but a missed shot. Also needing to be careful of the cat pressure too, because again, he's the only one actually up on the platform itself. DD is down below. Shroud and Stewie picking up 2 more kills, and that is Captain Mo gone. The A site's open. Fancy tries to escape for the save, but again, it's unsuccessful. Cloud9 successfully eliminate every single player from the CT side, and there you go, 6-0, and the first pause will come in from TyLoo.
Yeah, 6-0. We'll see if TyLoo decides to like half buy here. I don't think they buy here. I think it would be a big mistake to buy right here, Blue, because even if you win this round, if you buy with just like 3,500, chances are you're not going to win a round clean. And if you don't win the round clean, following round, if you lose that, you're going to be screwed.
So unfortunately, they will be put into another bit of a unfortunate scenario here. And again, these rounds just continue to go very, very one-sidedly into the favor of C9. Positions one under setup, but when it actually comes time to follow up on that and close down against this T side, they just can't really seem to be able to connect a lot of their shots and finish the job in their favor here. Ball's coming in, but it should be unpaused in just a second here with the new timers on it. And we'll get into that match pretty quickly.
From what you've seen of Captain Mo, would you take Mo TV or Captain Mo? Who's better?
Probably Captain Mo.
Captain Mo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow, man.
Wouldn't be able to speak English, but at least we know he's going to be consistent and he won't yell at us if we do something wrong. So we can see again automatic. He's going to push himself right out towards long. Eco kills left and right for automatic. Picks up 2 quick ones there. And automatic hanging back here too. Wants to hunt down another one now with his pistol in hand. Just hunting for these frags. Stewie also behind the doorway there. Picks up an additional kill. TyLoo just trying to play aggressively here to find some of these guys at close angles, but it's not panning out at all. And it's a virtually flawless round again from C9.
Quick 7-0. Last round they went for that double up setup. See if they do that again. But so far, very, very one-sided.
Indeed. And again, TyLoo, they are able to get the double up investment. This time with with the exception of Fancy, of course, pretty much full utility and everything too. So really not any more excuses after this one, since they do have the full buy continuing for themselves. And we need to start seeing some impact made, some resistance put up to the table. Skadoodle is going to challenge some stuff over here in the tunnels really early on. DD getting ready to push it, but he may need a distraction from the player in the back or to be able to toss out a flashbang or something. We'll put that in the face of Skadoodle there, but obviously won't connect very directly. Both of these teams are still holding passively, waiting for the other one to make a mistake, and we won't see that just yet.
Yeah, and that could have been troublesome for him because a lot of American teams like to fake long, go out mid, be quick. They actually had like almost no eyes on mid there. Had they just ran out the mid doors, they would have flanked on B entirely. But somebody playing long, very close. I don't agree with that Molotov at all. Just using your utility like that for no reason. You know, they didn't throw anything. You just have a smoke out that was up on the doors. They have no idea if you're across the doors, to the left of it, nothing. So throwing that Molotov makes 0 sense right there. Definitely ill-advised.
Well, regardless, Cloud9 now, time's getting a little bit lower, and some of the other utilities going to start to go in for TyLoo, but I mean, they're pretty much out now. They've got nothing left to hold off C9. There's a couple, flashbangs, 2 specifically on 1 player. It's all an attacker, and he's not even playing where the hit's going to come in from, so there you go. Stewie and the rest of C9 just rush right out through mid here. They're going to pick up that quick kill. Fancy holding for 1, but he's now surrounded, and it's Skadoodle over in the back of the tunnel there is going to be able to take down Fancy, catching the trade for it. Nothing even sneaking into to try to catch some of these guys today, and that's going to be a quick pickup against somebody, taking him down. Attacker trying to lurk back in through mid, hunting specifically nothing here, but even nothing, just crouching right under that. They know they have full control over the situation, and both Captain Mo and Attacker are now stuck here outside of the doorway trying to save again. Nice shot from Captain Mo, though. Moves in. Looks like he's a goner, and somehow manages to recover to pick up at least 1 frag on Shroud. Nothing, though, with the response, as it is somewhat inevitable here. Attacker holds for his 1 kill, but then shot in the back by Automatic, who sneaks up against him there, unbeknownst to him. And that'll have your 8th round on the board now for C9.
Yeah, and that type of playstyle where you play CD side by delaying them with Molotovs, first off, it hasn't really been a playstyle on Dust 2. It's not something you do on Dust 2. You want to use your utility to counter things. You want to use it reactively, generally. You don't just want to waste it like that. We used to see, you play to delay like that with Molotovs and smokes back with a 1:45 round time, and only then on certain maps like Inferno, etc. But with, the longer round time now, and it being Dust 2, that strategy, you really should only implement that if it's like 30 seconds left on that clock and they haven't done anything yet. Maybe throw it at like 25 seconds or around there. But in that scenario where there's a minute left, they haven't even shown any pressure anywhere, especially at your spot, don't do it. Just don't. It's absolutely the wrong way to play CT side Dust 2.
So second pause being used there now for TyLoo as they wanted to try and figure out how exactly they would play that out. This round is just going to be all SMGs for them, and they're playing it very, very forward too. Again, they've already pushed out towards Longo to catch these guys, but C9, oh no, the strategies continue to not work out at all here for the TyLoo players. They're about to get fast in a really pinch manner. Over here on the B-bomb site, they're pushing back in. They're both completely blind too. Automatic runs in. It's nothing that actually grabs a kill. Automatic not really acting as much more than a distraction, but still, it's a 1-2-3 pickup for C9. DD, Captain Mo, along with Fancy, all have already been knocked out, and there's just not a whole lot that somebody, an attacker, can do besides post up in these forward positions to look for exits against C9.
Yeah, very odd buy by them, right? Like, they didn't force buy, they just spent like 2,000 or something like that. I don't know why somebody has head armor there. Everyone on C9 now has an op and AK, but they just opt to, just buy enough to be able to try to win this round. But like I said, they had no eyes on middle, and NA teams take advantage of that. If you don't have eyes on middle, a lot of the time they go out mid-B quick, flank those guys, and that's exactly what we saw right there.
Attacker at the very least picking up a few kills here, so doing some damage, but this is not going to be much again in the grand scheme of things. He gets an upgrade to an AK, and that seems to be about all he's going to get here. Shroud and Skadoodle focus a bit more on saving, but I mean, the money they have, that's nothing. They can easily, 2 players at max cash at the start of this round. Those kills mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, so long as they continue to win rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't mean much. So somebody having a rough one, man. 0-0-8 right now, and just domination across the board.
I'm past secret agent status at this point. Skadoodle hoping for to be feeling that right now. They're in complete control of this matchup, and TyLoo seem to do everything they can. They had that match under their control, but it's just the speed at which they're able to actually retake the site that actually prevents them from finally picking up a point.
A slow play by C9 this round. A little surprised about that. I thought they were just going to go with the run them over strats probably for the rest of this map, but they do slow it down. Skadoodle still in T-spawn. Looks like they're going to probably take some sort of long control maybe.
And again, up to try and stop that primarily over at long itself. He's going to come down to Captain Mo. We've got more of them going for a cat play, but nothing realizes the pressure could be at middle here. He's spraying down through the doorway. That's great damage onto Attacker. He escapes, but not before losing 2/3 of his health there. Really damage done, but now the rest of TyLoo need to be able to try and pick up some of this. As Captain Mo again just sits back and patiently waits for the hit to come in. There's going to be that long pressure moving in a moment from Automatic and Shroud, but at the same time, somebody paying attention for the drop play too. They're prepared for this. This has been a common theme, and Automatic just wrecks Captain Mo. Gives him absolutely no room to play with here. Somebody still being cautious of somebody, well, himself, somebody else trying to push his way through the cat position there. But DD gets lost, is taken out by Skadoodle. Attacker falling back to try and wrap back in. They've done virtually 0 damage to anybody on C9, so they're all still full health. A lot of them still have their nades to use too, and there's just the peek out from Skadoodle, moving in, takes down Attacker, eliminating him, and the rest aren't really in any position to bargain for the retake. So somebody may move in to try and pick up 1 kill, but, well, that's not even going to happen. Stewie's just going to move directly down to challenge him, and it is Fancy now left alone. A 1v5 trying to do any damage that he can, but this doesn't even mean anything now. He shouldn't even be taking these. He should have been prioritizing to save that, as any damage he does will just be rebought in the next round anyway. They've got enough cash to buy out for pretty much the rest of this half, even if TyLoo should pick up every round from this point forward.
Yeah, I mean, they had 1 long A, 2 in B, and then 2 close middle, so they basically gave up A. And if you're going to play like that, then when A gets hit, you need to push through the middle and try to probably go for like a quick flank. That's generally what you want to do with that. And I don't mind them making a read like that, because they kind of need that to get around here, right? Is not playing standard and making a read like that and overplaying things. But unfortunately for them, you know, they don't have the proper reaction to what C9 is doing almost every one of these rounds.
Yep. And we can see, again here for Cloud9, just to look at this, how far up they're getting over on long without anybody even spotting them. Automatic almost gets the headshot immediately onto somebody there. As he pushes around the corner here, we can see nothing. Grabs the kill onto somebody. Fancy's pressed back by a Molotov. Sights under their control again, and they don't even have to do much to get it. Stewie as well, just DMing with people back over in mid here. He's got quite a few of them challenging him, but he's prepared for it. Skadoodle chimes in with the kill on the Captain Mo. DD does trade on the Stewie, but Skadoodle long gone here, and even Legs, one of them. Automatic in the meantime, picks up an additional player back over on Cat. That's Fancy gone down, and all that is left is the player that's already been hit once, down to 30 HP. Automatic will finish the job. 13-0 for Cloud9.
These buys are interesting though, huh? The ump buys. Like when you're losing, you get 3,400. You have max money. You just buy umps like every other round. Consistently
picking them up too. So this is going to be the 3rd pause for TyLoo. They've got 1 more to use.
Imagine it's a Cloud9 pause.
I mean, they technically still 3. They want to use it to try and mess them a little bit. Also, this will be interesting. The auto sniper coming in too to try and pelt the door at the beginning, look for some early damage.
Yep, always a good strategy.
Been surprised. Maybe it's because the camera is facing the back of the audience. I haven't seen anyone dab yet.
Like, why would you say such a thing?
Like at New York, right? It was like an epidemic.
Yeah,
like
it is an epidemic.
It was getting to a point where it needed to stop.
Yeah, for real. I don't know, man. This is just. They're clearly very, very outmatched.
Well, there you go. There's the auto sniper just pelting the doorway. No connections on it, of course. He's not going to stick with it. He's using it there to try to get it some early damage on the guys crossing the B. But nothing found. However, with the money they have, nothing necessarily lost either. And as we see, it'll be somebody once more checked up against the door, waiting, expecting a B. And they've got basically 3 guys fully committed. Captain Mo has kind of watched more for mid, but they've also got Attacker playing in a position to catch some of that too. So if this doesn't end up being a B hit again, this is going to be a washed out round so quickly, as Cloud9 basically are able to walk right up to the A site currently.
Yeah, I mean, they make the problem is when they make these reads where or they overplay these places, like when they overplay mid like that, they don't put any pressure towards like long A or cat or anything to at least feign pressure and try to push them towards where they're stacking. So Cloud9 is just like, you're not doing anything over here on this side of the map. I'm just going to take advantage of that, and they just immediately go away from the stack because of that.
Yeah, we can see here too. It's Fancy that will challenge this up close, but mainly paying attention to cat pressure. More of these guys have started to shift in, pay attention to the possibility of it being an A hit, but still Cloud9 keep themselves quiet. And much like 3 to 4 rounds in the past, there's nobody challenging long pressure. They're able to walk up. Fancy, though, he backs out, but it's the wrong time. He could have gotten so many kills with that. If the flashbang hit, Automatic and nothing, finding their 2 kills. Attacker with the trade. Captain Mo with the second. Stewie, however, bringing things back under the control of C9, but somebody is going to push right out into the upshot of Skadoodle. He'll take him down. Captain Mo with the last player alive here has a position. He'll fall back to the dumpster, looking to see if he can get anybody on the jump up there, but they've all fallen back behind cover now. And this is going to be essentially impossible with no utility or anything else to play with here. As soon as he goes out towards long, there's 2 guys looking right in his face. He spotted the one around the corner, but jumping up there, he's already brought down to 14 HP, and it's a walk-in kill for Stewie, taking him down 14-0 now.
Yeah, not sure what to say about this blue. Should I keep analyzing like what they're doing wrong? I don't even know, man.
It's up to you at this point. It's just
because see right there, a common mistake that, especially on Dust 2, right? If they all came through spawn and fought long, that's good. If you go through middle together, that's good. When you split up like that and 2 push through middle and then 2 push long, it's bad. You want to take control of one side of the map when you're reacting like that, and then deal with the other people instead of splitting up like that.
You can see again Cloud9 with no reason to fear essentially anything at all. Already out the doorway here and already doing about half the HP off of Captain Mo. Attacker's going to try to group up with his teammates, but called off at the last second. Decides to go back down to make sure there's no additional pressure coming in from mid. Cloud9 have had no reason to really add any element of really complexity to the way that they're playing these T sites, though. They can just completely rush these sites and still manage to pick up victories on almost every single occurrence moving in. They're giving them a little bit of respect here, but ultimately, as they do push forward, slowly trying to peck these guys out, and it succeeded. Automatic, he's found Attacker, taking him down. They're about to have another guy also push back in from the cat position, too. Everybody from TyLoo is here currently, but even with that, Cloud9 is sticking around. It's just now that they decide to fall back and maybe are starting to consider other options, but I'm not even sure of that currently.
Yeah, just a complete stat pad match, man. That's what you call these.
Pretty
just
much.
a stat pad match.
Well, we do see DD heading out towards mid to try and, I think as well, he's been drawn to this one guy. It's Stewie pushing over to the other tunnel right now.
He's drawn to him?
Well, it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe he's trying to call it out, but hey, there we go. There's one pickup for TyLoo there. Finds Stewie, takes him down. That is going to initiate the long hit, though, hoping that it caused some of the rotations. As we see, it definitely has. Quite a few of them went out. Somebody's able to surprise a little bit of a peek out from the corner there. Getting more, that was going to be the difficult part. These one-for-one trades are happening, but actually, again, closing out the round has been the big issue for TyLoo here, and it's brought down to just one man again. It's DD carrying the gun off his dropped opponent for the kill he got earlier. Hunting for someone, but just cannot find any of these guys in a good situation, and eventually overwhelmed by C9. They all push out. It's a perfect half from Cloud9. 15-0.
Oh, perfect half. And they didn't play like disrespectful or anything. I mean, they could have won that game by just like doing craziness and screaming super hard, but they actually took it seriously. Like they played, you know, proper CS and did everything they could to win the rounds. So didn't really give TyLoo any chance there. They outplayed them in every facet.
Has been that, and now we'll get into the second half in a moment. Obviously, giving TyLoo the time they need is now this needs to be the perfect run from them on the second half. It's not going to be much time, apparently, as we're already ready to get into... Oh, apologies, no, we're getting for the replays here. So we'll take a look at the slaughtering of the first half here, where it was just Cloud9 every single round shutting things down. And continually, like I said, just finding these entries left and right. Attacker, I mean, like we said, there's a couple situations where they were able to hide in some like cheeky positions and catch kills in that regard, but that seemed to be like the only good takeaway from TyLoo's CT side, is that they were able to hold back and find a couple kills there, but that's been about it.
I mean, I thought it was promising at the start. I think their very first gun round had a great setup. They just didn't execute it properly when the player just started looking middle for some reason. When they had the one cat, one took long control, one was boosted CT and 2 inside B. That's actually a really strong setup. You have a lot of win conditions with that setup. You know, you can get a pick off cat. Maybe they don't go cat and they go straight towards B. You should win that round. If they do anything towards mid B, you should always win that round. They just didn't. You know, they just didn't execute the setup properly. But then after that, their setups were very fundamentally flawed. Very flawed.
And we can see again the discussion being had between the two teams at this point. Cloud9 with nothing to worry about. TyLoo with everything to worry about, as they're going to be dropping down to go into a best of 3, assuming, of course, that they do end up still losing this match against Echo Fox, and that will be happening tomorrow. Which, if this will be the result from this best of 1 here specifically, then they're going to need to make sure that they really drill themselves for that best of 3 for tomorrow, as that'll be a much longer drawn-out match. There's the potential for the upset there, but obviously Sean will bring his preparation for his squad there, and we'll see those guys bring in their A game, as they're going to want that additional slot at IEM Oakland.
No, absolutely, and I think Echo Fox is going to have a big advantage, especially if they honestly just ban Mirage. I mean, TyLoo's a completely different team on Mirage than what we've seen on Dust 2. So,
well, the crowd wants it, but the crowd may have just jinxed it by saying it. We haven't said it once, and there's a reason to that. But we'll find out in a moment here. as Cloud9 on their CT side will look to claim the 16-0 TyLoo. Can they stop it? Can they try and prevent this from happening? Or is it just going to be a straight-up shutdown at the hands of the new North American hope? We can see Stewie trying to move in there early on to pick up first kill of the player way in the back there over towards T-Spawn. Attacker actually does take some damage from it. If they can bait him out, it'd be great, but they've also got Shroud assisting with this one too, and he's going to hunt for DD. They make their push though, and there's the first kill from him. A trade comes in from DD, and now Shroud is going to back up quite a bit. He'll stick around. He won't completely give up on his position yet in the event they do try to push in towards him, but they will give the respect to TyLoo now and let them take up position outside of the door. Rest of them, however, actually not even moving in towards that. They're all going to head over towards long now. But the problem is by not really having any players positioned in the tunnels, you normally have that one that ends up going down and regrouping. They've already done that because they were forced into the engagement. So now nothing and automatic are allowed to push into these tunnels for free. They know it's not here, so the guys on the A site can get prepared for the hit. There's no way it would be going anywhere else unless they snuck out through mid, but they should have been able to spot that if that were the case. Shroud looking to catch some of this here. DD causing some of his own push to be a little bit hesitated, of course, but now they push in through long. Shroud and Captain Mo trading out themselves yet again. We can see Shroud hunting for one player that may overpeak to take him down, but he's not getting it, and nothing creeping in through that smoke there. It's automatic elsewhere. That picks up an additional kill against Captain Mo. Shroud, no! Cannot chase that player away successfully. Gets back behind cover. DD finding nothing. It's down to a 2 versus 2 now. Shroud can't find these headshots here. They're running low on time, and neither of the remaining CTs have a kit to work with that. They need to push into this one and get these kills. Raptor on the corner. There's the first one. The last one that's alive is going to come down to DD, but they need to jump onto this bomb immediately to start the defuse. Otherwise, they're going to run out of time. Automatic, he found a kit, though, and they've taken down DD. So there you have it. Cloud9 will get the 16-0 victory versus TyLoo, sending them down to the lower bracket and sending Cloud9 not only to the grand finals of the iBUYPOWER Masters event, but also to IM Oakland next week. We can hear the chants, of course, coming in from the crowd, too. USA, the pride of the audience, have done it.
You would have thought they just won a major.
Well, they do pull it in, and once again, as we've seen there before, guys, if you want to see Cloud9 at IM next week, be sure to go ahead over to the website where you can go and pick up your tickets and find more information on the event. That's all going to be happening next weekend, and now we can officially say that Cloud9 will be there. They have torn their way through the competition, first against Flipside, secondly against TyLoo, and they have gotten their spot with a 16-0 victory against the Chinese team.
Yeah, just dominant.
Shutting it down.
Yeah, just, I mean, you know, I was saying it the whole time. TyLoo just, honestly, they don't really know how to play Dust 2. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, so that was, again, we mentioned this at the beginning of the match too. That was their first time playing it versus like a highlight team. They had never actually tried it against another big international team before. They'd always been against like other domestic Chinese teams and against some other like Asian Pacific area teams. But first time they played it against either like a big European or North American team, and obviously hasn't gone so well. So I imagine that'll be added to the permaban list for the future.
Well, maybe. I mean, but we have no idea what that, you know, what their confidence is in Dust 2. We don't know if they think it's their second best map, third best map, fourth best map. Like, I have no idea. But, you know, judging by that, I mean, their Mirage seems like it's quite a few levels above their other maps. So looking into this best of 3 that we're going to see in the lower bracket, you have to really, really favor Echo Fox. Yeah. Really.
Absolutely. Yeah. Assuming, obviously, that they will ban out Mirage this time. They're not going to give them that good map. It would be interesting, of course, because you may see this going to maps, you know, like Nuke again, considering that that was a map that TyLoo was willing to leave into the pool until the very end and whatnot. So there's a possibility it goes into there, and quite a few of the other maps too, where it's kind of like middle of the road for both teams. It's actually going to be like a really interesting set tomorrow, so it should be fun to watch. Yeah,
definitely, and it's always good to see new teams play, and them playing against Echo Fox is really nice because we're going to see how good they are on these other maps. Hopefully, I'd be curious, you know, how they play Cobble or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll have an interview here coming up in just a moment, of course, as the Cloud9 guys just get ready for that one, sorting out who exactly they want to have.
What match do we have next, by the way?
I'm doing it. The next match, we're done after this.
Yeah, but so for the stream, Blue, it's not all about us.
I think it's the other lower bracket match that's coming up after this one, so it's going to be the losers of the other group. TSM versus FaZe is going to be the other match there. So, yeah.
TSM versus FaZe in the best of 3. That's going to be really good.
Yeah, because TSM, again, they've been tested against a lot of these other European teams, but it doesn't really happen like that often. It's been like quite a few months that they've had that chance. So another like big step-up opportunity for this team too. They've been able to impress like at ECS and a couple of those other LAN events that happened like over the course of the summer, but we haven't really seen them since then at a LAN environment. But for the time being, of course, we do have Smix waiting over at the stage with an interview with Jordan. So let's send it down to her.
Thank you very much, guys. Nothing, congratulations. Oh, you can place that down, yeah? Okay. But other than the Red Bull, congratulations. Obviously, really, that was a stomping, to put it lightly. If you personally had to name one thing that TyLoo did well.
That's messed up, Sue. That's messed up.
I'm just asking the hard-hitting questions here.
Well, I mean, I like these guys. I like TyLoo. They're a good team.
Respect, respect. And of course, this lineup is doing really, really well. What specifically do you feel that Stewie and Automatic have brought to the team?
I mean, a lot of cuteness, as Stewie just said, and that was really it. Just the cuteness is what gets us the dubs. I mean, in comparison just to whatever they brought to the team, I guess a lot of fresh just mindset, you know. These guys are playing, you know, just as much Counter-Strike as I did when they were age, and that's, I think, key to these teams. And it's cool as one of the veterans on the team to be able to learn from the newcomers. I really value that. They're always showing me new stuff. So I think just that dynamic and, of course, a lot of skill.
And I know this lineup was also doing really well not this lineup, but the lineup that C9 had last summer was also doing really well. And if you had to compare those two, I guess, eras, and why do you think this era is doing even better?
I think just, you know, I don't know, Sean had a great work ethic as a strat caller. Stewie's got a great work ethic, but I just think we got two different gears that we didn't have necessarily on that roster. You know, obviously, if we kept up the hard work last summer, we would have been a great team, but it kind of trickled off. I think the difference with this team is, you know, just the, like I said, the two gears we have to switch it up speed are very slow and be successful at both. And, you know, be aware of what we need to bring, which gear we need to bring, rather, versus each team.
Well, next weekend with the win here, you are securing a spot at IEM Oakland. Obviously, a very stacked lineup there as well. How do you feel you guys will fare against those teams?
I think we'll fare well. I think, you know, the only team that we've ever really been having a tough time against, I mean, all the top 5 teams in the world are going to be tough. All the teams at the tournament are going to be tough. But I'm looking forward to getting a victory against Virtus Pro. So I don't know if we're going to face them early or at all, but I hope we can play them and beat them, and that would be good. Other than that, you know, psychologically, you got to approach all these guys at Oakland like they beat you. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jordan. Congratulations on securing top 4 here. And of course, guys, after this break, we will be coming back with FaZe versus TSM, so don't go anywhere.